stops him in this year's UK Championship, but he still trails 9-6. And he played a shot early on in that break there, and I talked about topspin, and it was where he played the yellow, and he's got to come off 2 cushions. The other reds weren't hampering it. You got to play it. You're hitting the cue ball at like 12 o'clock to create the topspin, and he cued this beautifully, and it stopped. Then it hit 2 cushions, and it came right up to the reds. And we're going to show you exactly what happens with the ball when you play with topspin. We've got our spotted white ball, and you'll be able to see. Now, it's amazing. He's hitting there at 12 o'clock, if you imagine the ball being a clock face. But what happens when he hits the ball, it actually stops or comes back a little bit, and then the topspin kicks in. And look at that ball just spin. And that's what's happening with the cue ball when you play it with topspin. Superb pictures, those.
What's happening in the match, it's suddenly becoming very, very tense, because may I remind you guys that at this point last year, John Higgins was 9-5 down against Mark Williams and won 10-9. Anything is possible, and the way that Mark Allen is approaching his task is very, very commendable, isn't it? Yeah,
obviously he's got nothing to lose, his back's up against the wall, but the way he's playing, I mean, it's both players, just one visit. Just incredible standard at the moment. Terrifically high standard, John.
Well, it doesn't get much better. You make one mistake, you sit down for a while. I mean, if he's playing as well as this and he continues to do it, he will put. It is putting pressure on Judd, because he's going to come to the point and think, if I miss it, he's going to clear up, and it'll be the same for Mark as well. I mean, obviously he's teetering on the brink of defeat, so he can't really make many mistakes at the moment because the standard is just so high. One mistake, sit down.
What's it like, Steve, when you're sitting there, seeing your lead beginning to be eaten into?
Why are you talking to me? It's a horrible feeling. Yeah. And all of a sudden, it does put more pressure on your next frame, on your next shots. In the frame before, we didn't see too much from Judd Trubb. He made a very nice break, but yeah, it can. You can all of a sudden look over your shoulder too much, and well, that's Mark Allen's job now, to see if he can really put the heat on Judd Trump. It's going to be tough, but he could do it.
Yes, and whenever that winning line is visible, the man in front can just tighten up a bit.
That was a very, very clever shot, because he almost knocked that in, and he was on the black or pink, and he wasn't leaving anything up this end of the table, but the red that wobbled in the jaws is possible. And where's the red going? Where is the red? It's going right over the pocket, and all of a sudden Judd there, well, he didn't get close to that pot for him. And that will be just pure tension. That's covered, but there's one into the corner. I don't think the red next to the black is available. If it is, it would be ideal for Mark.
Yeah, I think there's value here. I know the pink's slightly separated from the reds, but if you could pot this blue, cannon the pink full in the face, open the reds up, we know he's got a red to go at. Okay, he's played for the low one, but well, if he's got a slight angle on this, but
6.
Well, as you see, there is a gap between the pink and the red, so he probably didn't think he could open the reds as he would have liked, but he's got to start thinking about opening those reds before he has to play the red over the far corner pocket.
7.
Leave that there for a reserve in case he's run out of position. But I don't think he's got an angle on this pink to try and bring anything into play. You don't want to bring them all into play, but 3 or 4 more reds in the open would be handy.
Well, he's going to have to take that reserve that you mentioned, John, that was over the pocket. He would have left it there had he have been able to play the shot where he could have brought a few more reds into play. So now that bunch is there, that the pink goes behind its spot. Its own spot is occupied, as are all the others, so directly behind it. And they've enjoyed every single shot of this final. In fact,
30.
the crowds all week have been superb.
14.
And they'd love to see this match continue. Got the perfect angle on the green, but he's got 2 more reds. But as I mentioned, with the pink not being there now,
18.
off the blue and into the pyramid of reds. So let's see how this works out for Mark Allen. Always looking for the full ball contact, because if you hit them half ball, you could go in off to either corner pocket.
Yes, Judd Trump sits there. He had half a chance and missed it. Mark Allen's had a look at the cluster. He doesn't think there's a plant to any corner pocket, so it's hit the top red, full in the face. He's got an easy red to go at. That's all you can hope for.
24.
Well, we went close to the in-off when he hit it half ball, but they've split beautifully. I mentioned that 3 centuries and 4 frames as he's run out of position. Oh, he's landed right on the blue. He can't even get to the yellow. Oh, that was the worst possible outcome. Quite a margin for error, but that's the first shot that's gone astray for quite some time. I'll just show you it again. He was just playing across, maybe to cannon the red to the right of the blue and leave the blue or the balk colour, but look where it's finished.
Yeah, it's just gone into it a little too much, and as you can see, he can't get through to the yellow, and there's a red over the corner pocket here. But he's got to cover.
Blue ball. Thank you. Blue ball.
Wasn't touching the blue. Can he cover, well, not only the red, but a red to knock onto that red?
Thanks.
Well, he's got a good length with the cue ball, so he's made it as difficult as he could.